So once again, now that we have these slaves, and that's because I call them slaves because that's what they are, and their institutions of spiritual slavery, attempting to enslave everybody in this country to the will of a few paranoid, oppressive, violent people. Now that we have this happening to us, we can see, we shouldn't allow a tyrant to deflect blame from communities of faithful believers who support the tyrant, from collaborators who are in search of a tyrant, from slaves in search of a master. It is the slaves, it is the collaborators who are basically empowering the tyrant. And that's why it's important to realize that, when blame is placed for all of the injustices and all of the hardships and all of the suffering that a tyrannical government bestows upon its citizens, we must remember that who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for creating and conserving power structures that concentrate wealth, income, and power into the hands of a few paranoid, oppressive, violent people? Who? Who's responsible for that? In large part, it's the conservatives, right? What do conservatives conserve? Conservatives create and conserve power structures that concentrate wealth, income, and power into the hands of a few people. Like, at this point in time, we could argue that the United States government is a power structure that concentrates wealth, income, and power into the hands of a few people. Because thanks to the support of practitioners of discovery religions for the MAGA cause, what's the MAGA cause? The MAGA cause is replace democracy with autocracy, replace a large middle class with psychotic extremes of poverty and wealth, replace a secular pluralistic society with a religious elitist society, and replace freedoms and rights with slaveries and wrongs. That's the MAGA cause. Because of their support for the MAGA cause. And why do they support it, by the way? Because a world wherein an autocracy, psychotic extremes of poverty and wealth, a religious elitist society exists, and slaveries and wrongs exist, is a world that reinforces a belief in their value of their pessimistic myths.